as we begin qualifying for the pre-season for Season 6. A big welcome to everybody at home for joining us on a Wednesday night. Got a fantastic couple of weeks in terms of pre-season, ready for the draft in the coming weeks and for the new season to start. Looking forward to it. What a bang to start off 2024, and it should be wonderful. Wonderful way to kick off the year, and obviously Silverstone, we know it's a fantastic track, home of British motorsport, and it's going to be a fun one. We've got 14 drivers at the moment. We might have a couple of late join us, but nonetheless, we've got a mixture of drivers, so I feel like we're going to have a few good battles tonight. Just got to hear with you once again in the comms box, and luckily I'm joined by Almighty Gob. Gobby, fantastic to have you in here.
And fantastic to be here. I love watching some on-track action at Britain. Very good track to have some good battles at. So
yeah, it's definitely one of the drivers' more favourite tracks. I'm a bit of hit and miss around here as we're on board with Freezy, if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologise if I'm butchering it a little bit, but Freezy, new driver to the league. Haven't seen that name before, so currently following him through down the Wellington Straight. Does he go as we come through the first sector, and then love this section of corners. We've seen some side-by-side action between Luffield, out of Woodcote now, the old start finish straight, and as we make the run up to the infamous Cops Corner, but it's pretty much flat out, but he just manages to hold it within the white lines. That's not an invalidation.
Very close to being invalidated there.
Yeah, he just manages to keep it in the white line. Tally goes quickest on a 27 flat. Maggots and Beckett's are now out of Chapel. Yeah, 2 DRS zones, as we know, one on the Wellington Straight and now one on the Hanger Straight as we come around Stowe now. So, an alright lap as we come through into Vale, and the final couple of corners can be a little bit tricky, but he navigates the first part of it, and now the final corner, Club Corner, short sprint to the line, crosses the line, and he does a 29.1. So
he's on the mediums though.
Yeah, which is an interesting call. So I think it's about half second delta. So we'll see him go again. Just obviously wanting to get a little bit of time in, or a little bit of practice in, I should say.
I think Jenneth is just about to. Yeah, Jenneth has just put in a 26.8. Good lap by Jenneth.
Yeah, great lap.
Obviously a fan of Britain.
Yeah, just in the sound. So hopefully everybody can hear the game audio and us properly. But as you said, Jenneth currently on provisional pole, or he was on provisional pole until Buster goes 26.2.
I've got Dan the Races just coming through the last little tight last few corners. It's not going to do it though. It's obviously just a banker lap there from him. And then I'm pretty sure Cake's going to be the next one to come across, and I know for a fact he is a fan of Britain.
Yes, she'd definitely be one to watch quite Cake tonight, as he's obviously just starting an out lap, so I feel like he made a little bit of a mistake, so he's obviously abandoned that lap, saved a bit of ARS, so he's got full battery that he can go once again. I think we've got one of the Wombs, I believe, that's just crossing the line. That's green. He goes up into P4 on his second flying lap. So I found some more time, 27.2, but he's about a second off of Buster at the moment. So obviously about half the grid setting lap times at the moment. I will say before Buster went at Jenneth up the front, and we actually got Jenneth in the comms box. Jenneth, if you can hear us, welcome, and how are you feeling for tonight?
Yeah, you guys, nice to be sitting on Tracks Comms today. I just finished a hot lap and then I come back into the pit. Buster is very good laps. He's not provisional pole for the time being, isn't it?
Second now.
I'm
Busters
second.
just pipped ya.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, that's good job. I see whether I can do anything on track and let you go, let you guys know what happens there.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have a little bit of input from yourself. Obviously, the team principals obviously will be paying attention to these next few races as Mertz goes P2 on a 26.3, about 300ths off a Buster. That's going to be quite a feisty battle. We saw how well Mertz did at the end of the previous season. And obviously Buster as well coming in about halfway through. Obviously, one of our new admins for Inters Racing League. And yeah, he was on the ball. Didn't quite had a bit of bad luck, unfortunately, towards the end, but obviously made his name in Tier 2. So those two will put on a show for us, nonetheless.
Very clean. Oh, sorry, just some very, very clean racing at the back end of the season when I was on comms for Busters races. So yeah, clean racer, good dude around the community as well.
Yeah, and obviously I spent majority of Tier 2 able to com that particular tier, and it was obviously a fantastic battle. Obviously Mercy claiming that particular battle, and McLaren as well. So Mercy moving up to Tier 1, so it's going to be a brand new Drivers' Champion next season, so it's going to be very interesting to see which of these boys do step up and try and grab that mantle. But I will mention ads. Yes, I do see your comment. I just opened the chat up, so obviously been a while. So hopefully you are well. Obviously shout out to Broseph as well.
Go Queensland.
As I'm just having a look at Luke, I think just crossed the line to go P4. I'm on board with the other with the Ferrari Jerobot, who just crosses the line to go 28-1. So you got Battle Cat in the other Ferrari just starting his next run, but he's invalidated.
Secret's just coming through the last few turns here.
So the lone Red Bull tonight, and he comes around club corner now, final corner on this circuit. The
P3.
current, yeah, P3, nice lap, 26.5 on the current configuration. We've had this since about 2009, 2010. So obviously we've had this for about 14, nearly a decade and a half. So obviously a lot of the drivers have had a lot of laps around here on the game. So quite enjoyable to see these guys go around. As I think we've got a Mercedes.
Yeah, Domor's coming down the last straight.
Yes, hasn't set a lap time yet, so love to see how he puts in his first lap as we just hit about 8 minutes left to go on the session. And coming around club, crosses the line, goes 28.8. So it's a banker on the board at least for him, but he's got plenty of time to come back in to do another lap. How's Jerobot coming in? He's coming into the box. Who's that? We got Luke. I think he's possibly in as well. He's not. He's flashing a little bit down the race. Currently in P10 in the Mercedes.
No,
so
he's not.
No, he's definitely not. Yeah, looks like a lot of the guys are just on either an in lap or an out lap. Callie is up on his time as he comes through Chapel now onto the Hanger Straight.
Boy, this traffic would want to move.
Yeah, I think he's...
Two of those three cars have come into the pits anyway.
Yeah, he's just going to get away with it. So, Callie, we did see some good pace from him last season as well. So, we'll see what he can... Yeah, we'll see what he can do. And he goes top 3, 26.5. He's about just over 2/10 behind the front row in the provisional pole. But yeah, great lap from the Alfa Romeo. So Alfa Romeo looking strong with P3, P5. So I will just quickly mention new sponsor for Season 6 at Inters, Player One. I better have a look at the proper name before I butcher that as well. Player One Sim Gear. So I believe they are a Melbourne based Racing Sim Gear Company. They are. So, obviously, very thankful for them to be partnering up with us as Mertz goes into stays top 2. I thought he improved.
Lukey Fallow just crashed out as well on the old pit straight.
Yeah, so saves me, considering that I can't do two things at once, so I clearly trying to look up the sponsor's name, getting that right, and Miss Luke crashing out.
I didn't want to cut you off in that either, so I was just gonna let it go.
Yeah, wanted to make sure we got that properly, but as I said, we're very thankful for having them on board this season, and as I said,
absolutely
3 tiers of absolutely beautiful racing that we're going to see. Granny goes purple in the middle sector, but he's only about a 10th up on his time, so he does need to find a second on his time. We'll see if he's got much time in the final sector. We know how tricky this final sector can sort of be. Obviously, back into the Hangar Straight, then you've got to go through Stowe, so it can be quite tricky.
Missed that apex there.
Yeah, and he does find a bit of time, goes top 7.
That's quick. I reckon he could have found a little bit more time in that in those last few turns.
Yeah, move up a couple of spots. Secret is in the pit lane currently in P4, so he's not too far away. Only a couple of tenths off the front row as well. And as we got a lot
Battle
of...
Cat will be the first one. He's on an out lap, just about to cross the line.
Yeah,
to start his lap.
Yeah, and as we saw, he invalidated his middle run, so he's going out again as we hit 4:20 left. So it'll be interesting to see if he's just coming out super early to maybe abandon a run if he needs to. Websy obviously doing a last to first challenge. If you've seen Websy in possibly other leagues, especially in pre-season, he is very, very quick.
I've been on track with him.
Yeah, he's a contender for Tier 1. Let's say Websy. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting.
I'll just say I've been on track with him. That's about as close as I've gotten to being anywhere near him.
Yes.
So very, very fast.
Yeah, as we watch Battle Cat coming through Cops Corner now. Marty, great to have you in the chat. How are you? Hopefully you're enjoying your new year. As Maggots and Beckett's now love these series of corners. If you absolutely nail it, it feels fantastic. But he goes a little bit wide on the entry of Chapel. So that will hurt him a little bit of time-wise. He's up by about a 10th. But again, he's sort of not really up where we sort of thought he possibly could be. We'll see how he goes. He's got the car on the right-hand side. He's got Vale now. And you can see on board.
He does have time to hold it up and go for another if he wants to go for one last hurrah. So save as much DRS as possible.
Yeah, he found about 3/10. Still, he finds himself in the top 8, but yeah, he's thought he'd have a bit more pace, but again, he's only a 10th off of 5th, so he's still confining himself in a good spot. Dan the race is coming through Chapel now. He sets the purple middle set. He's
tenths up.
Yeah, that will put him close to a 27 flat. So if he's got more time in this final sector, he might actually find himself in contention of that top 5 spot. And we know Dan has a bit of speed at Silverstone.
Had some tyres screeching then.
Yeah, as he crosses the line and goes top 6. Good lap from Dan, 26.7.
Good lap. Yeah, absolutely great lap.
Does he have a teammate? Yes, he does. So Dan, just for those who know, just maybe stay in front of your teammate. And yeah, we won't go further into that. As we have a look at, I think a lot of the guys are just trying to save ERS or just try to make it so they cross the line as close with Track Evolution as possible. As we've got Callie about to start his final run.
Do what? Clear after this one, Jennifer.
Jenna's getting a little bit of coaching
I saw him pulled over to the side, yeah.
So, Jenna's currently... He's improved to P3, actually. We sort of missed that. Apologies to you, but 26.3, so he's only about a 10th off pole. So we did see that brilliant pole position at the last round. So obviously finding himself in the top 3 at the moment, second row of the grid at the moment, as we hit the final minute of qualifying for the first pre-season race. So we will be lone race tonight, but tomorrow night we've got Spain and Portugal. So a double header, 35% for both races. So a bit of a different format, but going to be fantastic to watch. As we've lost Dan, who's retired in the pit lane, and you can see a lot of the guys coming in. So no improvement on the final laps at the moment. What about the wombs of Granny, who loses it? And that was on his outlap too. He was just trying to carry the speed, but unfortunately that's going to be his session over and done. As we've got Callie, I don't know if he's going to actually have much time left. How long we've got? We've got 4 seconds. So he's going to get the checkered flag. He is done. What about Donmore? So there's only going to be a few guys that can improve. As Donmore currently starting on the last row of the grid. Can he move up? He moves up into P12. As we got Mertz, goes 26-1, provisional pole. So he managed to get a bit of lap time in that final run. I'm going to stay on board with Just Secret because he is up by about half a tenth. And that half a tenth will get him ahead of Callie onto the second row. As he comes through the third sector now. How does he take Stowe? He has that snap. It was the snap mid-corner and that cost him all the time. So even if the lap was still valid, just that he just had that snap just at the wrong moment. And that's a little bit of an issue with Stowe. There's multiple aspects to the corner, and there's just a couple of issues that you can have that stuffs your corner up entirely, either through the mid-corner or on the exit. And unfortunately, that snap cost him potentially P4. But it's got to be Mertz who will battle it out with Buster on the front row. He gets the first pole of the pre-season. And as I said, a few of the drivers thought he might have been more a Tier 2 driver than a Tier 3 driver. But he's better Tier 2 driver in Buster. And as I said, Mertz and Buster was going to probably put on a show. They're going to be close. And it certainly was. Only by about a tenth of a second.
So I was watching Kate then, and it did the old Mertz was sitting behind him, directly behind him, and wouldn't make the move.
So as we have
got the 5 place.
Ooh, so I'm just wondering how he got that, but really unfortunate.
No,
so...
he didn't. He just missed it. He just missed it. I reckon it came to an end just as it was about to throw it out on him.
You're just giving me a little bit of a heart attack on Mertz's behalf, but you see the results on screen. Mertz, it was a great lap time from him. 26-1 at the death. He claims pole position from Buster. Jeneth, great job in P3. Callie in P4. Secret in P5. Dan in 6. Luke in 7th. Granny in 8th. Battlecat in 9th. And Quiet rounds out our top 10. Jerobot, Donmore, and Frizy was our final driver with the time, and then Websy, as we saw him retire early on, he's gonna attempt a last to first.
Got Mamba mentality underneath as well. He joined just at the end of quali.
Alright, cool. So we have a 15 car field at Silverstone. Dry weather. All races for the pre-season will be dry. Safety cars will be still on reduced. And especially around this particular track, we know how long the pit lane is. So if we get a virtual safety car or a safety car, you're going to see everybody come in. So it'll be interesting to see what tyre strategy everyone starts on. It's possible to take the hards from lap 2 here. They'll sort of be dead, but if you don't have another safety car, it's pretty much nearly a 30-second pit stop around here. That's just how long this pit lane is. So
if you kept your second set of mediums, honestly, and you get onto the hards as early as possible, I would get off those hards as early as possible as well, because you can easily run those mediums about 20 laps here as well. They're a bit poo-poo at the end, but you'd expect that from 20 lap old mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go here.
Yeah, no formation lap, as the Battlecat has just told us, so we will see the 5 red lights very shortly. I know the tyre compounds here are the hardest in the range, so I don't think they used the C0. I think they used the 1, 2, and 3. But we do have we've got 5 red lights. The first race of the pre-season, sponsored by Player One. We're underway, and it looked a steady start for Mertz and Buster. We know how tricky turn 1 is. Can we make it all through? We can. Mertz takes or keeps the lead from Buster.
And there goes Jenneth. Oh.
Jenneth in the box, and unfortunately, he's had a big issue. Unfortunately, he's out of this race early on. We've got a virtual safety car.
Second for Jerobot as well for contact with Cake.
Yeah, and Callie got involved in that as well. So
that's also a full safety.
Yeah, so it's been changed to a full safety car. I will bring up the tyres because everybody, looking at my little program here, a lot of drivers have gone a lot of different ways. So Just Secret and Mumba, they're coming in, and Jerobot, they're going to come in to change off those soft tyres because this is the perfect time for them. The medium's not 100% sure. The hard tyres are definitely going to have to stay out. They've really got no choice.
The mediums still have a good 10 laps worth in them, I think. So, I mean, they don't necessarily have to come in here. They can keep going.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think the soft runners have to. No matter what, I think they're in. Because by the end of the safety car, those tyres are going to be yuck. Like, you're going to lose all your good life out of them. So, but I think that it wouldn't surprise me if medium runners came in now to get off those mediums early. And then gives you the option late in the race. But, you know, I also wouldn't be shocked if they kept going as well.
Yeah, as you can see, everyone's up a position. Buster did a little bit of a sneaky, but it didn't box. Just everybody.
Secret and Dan.
Yeah, a few boys coming in.
Battlecat.
Oh, Battlecat. Hey, Battlecat's probably changed.
He may have had damage. He may have been caught up in.
It's not showing damage on my end, so looks like he might just switch to a double medium, which might not be a bad call considering that it was probably sort of second half of the grid anyway. But you can definitely see the Aston Martin Quiet Cake. He's definitely got no front wing.
No wing at all there. So
yeah, so just really unfortunate. So obviously Jenneth, DNFing from that. Callie got involved in that as well because he was right up there. So not exactly sure, but there was obviously contact. It seemed like the first part of the corner was fine. They got through Abbey fine, it seemed like, but it was around turn 2 a farm. It seemed like, yeah, there was a little bit of collision, and unfortunately, yeah, it's just taken one driver out of this race and sort of. I won't say ruined because this safety car sort of brings him back in, but just changes tyre strategies around a little bit.
I mean, luckily for us, it's the driver that crashed out is the one that we've got in the comms box with us. So, Jenneth, what went down?
No, I'm checking the footage. What happened out there? I don't know who hit me actually. Oh my god, I know it. It's my teammate.
Oh, JTE. Oh.
Yeah, no, actually, I don't know. I'm not sure of that. Oh, that one is unfortunate. Because I'm my front tire is stuck in the middle of in between his tire, and then I spun. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a really good one. Really good experience. I think he is being pushed by somebody else, I believe. No, yeah, Kelly is a very good fan of mine, and he won't do it like this, I believe.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, maybe I'm lagging or something. I don't know. I check with him later. He was great.
Yeah, really unlucky.
Mamba's coming in. No, someone's coming in. Frizy. Bit of a late call to come in.
Fosa's coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering. He didn't look like he picked up any damage, not from what I saw. And he's got on the hard tyres. As I said, you get a pit stop under a safety car. He's got an extra couple of laps on, or an extra lap on those set of hard. So he might just try and stretch his 23 laps.
He did use those practice mediums as well. Those quali mediums as well. Through quali. So this could be just saving a set of mediums, which could be a good shout. Not the worst decision, I don't think.
No, and as I said, that's another safety car obviously saves the guys that haven't stopped yet. But again, it's always like one that's dangerous because you're side by side, whereas a restart's a little bit different. And the restart here's a little bit tricky because obviously it's such a tight final sector that you can sort of get away with going a little bit earlier. You don't have to sort of wait to the line. We've seen other tracks like Baku and Monza and a few of the others that people just wait completely to the line, whereas there's a corner right before the line here, so you take that chance of sort of a hold up crash out of it. So I think it should be alright with the restart. It's interesting with Silverstone. You think a lot of high speed corners and you can have moments, but the walls are fairly spaced from the track, so it does take a fair effort to actually hit one of these walls and damage your car. But we have got the safety car in at the end of this lap. Mertz will lead us away. He's obviously got the hard compounded tyre. Buster on the medium, so he's going to be looking to be aggressive off the restart. I will say Websy is somehow up into P6. He was up to P9 before everyone stopped and made an extra 3 spots, so he's already moved up 8 positions.
Jerobot and Mamba didn't come in off of those softs, so they're going to be banking on another safety car in the next lap or two. But like you said, this track, the walls are fairly distanced here,
and you can
as
see
Websy's rise is. It's not going to take too long for him to have Jerobot even on the different compound tyres.
Yeah, you can just see how close he was. But at Websy, he's going to get the move done quite easily. And that's at turn number 3. So you knew that was going to be fairly simple. And he's got his teammate right in front of him. But we're going to have a quick...
Buster's going for the lead here.
Yeah, he's got the move down the inside. Oh, it gets close. As I said, this is the side-by-side that you can have around Brooklands, and now the exit of Luffield, and then the small Kinker Woodcote.
I was going to say, Lukey Fallow's right in behind this as well.
Yeah, as we come up to Cops, we've already seen, you can easily see side-by-side action here. It was fine. Does that AlphaTauri go wide? He doesn't, but Buster certainly did, and that could open the door up for Luke. But again, single file through Maggots and Beckett's, and you pretty much need to be... Oh, they got close to front to rear contact, but Luke really hurrying Buster at the moment, and Buster really trying to put the pressure on to take the race lead. He'll take the outside line coming up to Stowe for the 4th time.
I think Kelly's round as well.
Yeah, he's not having the night that he wants. Lap 1 collision and now around again. Hopefully he hasn't picked up any damages. We've got side by side, a little bit of contact, but Buster will hold it around the outside at Val. And now Club, a little bit of side front to rear contact between the two teammates.
Cat's got 5 seconds speeding in pit lane as well.
Yeah, sorry, go.
He got collision with Kata, yes.
Oh, so that's why there was the collision
Callie got
there.
one too.
Oh, we know how tricky this one is, and Callie's calling it quits, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just not his night, unfortunately. So he's going to put a bookmark in it early. But we still got 13. Battlecat's going to keep going. Another safety car can bring him back into it. But we've got a fiery battle up the front. Websy got past his teammate. He's up into P4 already, and we're only 5 laps in. And Buster...
He's already on Luke's... pass as well. So,
and it's also helped that the top 3 have really been fighting over this past lap.
Oh yeah.
But as I said, he doesn't have to rush this. He can take his time, and as I said, you got 2 different ways you can go. Luke goes really wide off the exit of Chapel, so possibly picking up a warning. So we're having a nice fight. Buster obviously not breaking the second yet. DRS will be enabled when they cross the start-finish line this time by. So Buster needs to find another 4 tenths in this first set before they get to the detection point. As Granny unfortunately picks up the first 3-second time penalty. So Jerobot's got 5. Granny's got 3. Battlecat at the rear with damage. Sped in pit lane, he's got 5. As we do have DRS now enabled. And we are following Luke. You can
Oh,
just see
yeah.
how much pace Websy had. Nearly thought about the move at turn 4, but he backed out of it. As he doesn't need to rush this. He's got plenty of pace on board that Williams.
Oh yeah.
But as you can see,
it's just a matter of time now.
yeah, and you're just sort of waiting for the move. But obviously, a bit of a DRS train. But Websy, he may go for a corner that you don't necessarily expect an overtake. Probably not at the end of a DRS straight. He'll go somewhere like your turn 3, your turn 4, if you get a nice run through the previous corner.
As Luke runs it wide again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. He's sort of the one that's fallen off a little bit. He'll get DRS, but you can just see on board with Websy. How's his line through there? That was a better line from Luke. But he's going to possibly have to burn a little bit of battery to try and hold off the Williams behind him. As we're on board, Websy's going to go the inside. He backed out of it, but tried to do a little bit of a switchback to take and get a better line through Stowe, but not quite able to do it. Oh, and he gets very close. You can just see over the shoulder cam. Oh, but he has a moment. I think
he's hit the sausage.
Yeah, he just hit that sausage curb, and unfortunately, he's lost a little bit of time, but he's still within DRS, so watch that. We can probably see what his pace actually is and how quickly he closes that gap, especially through these couple of corners. Luke goes a little bit wide and nearly hits his teammate, but you can just see how much grip and how much confidence, but he hit that inside sausage curb at turn 4 as well, so he's definitely driving aggressively, but he's got to be a little bit careful.
I mean, he never dropped off, so, and he's clawed back 3/10 in that first little sector of turns there, so, you know, it's he's got some genuine pace and is already basically back up on him, so
yeah.
This won't be too long, but Mertz is sitting looking real close to Buster at the moment. I reckon he'll be gearing up for a move pretty soon as Jerabot gets a 3 second.
Yeah, he's having a nice scrap with the Secret and Mumba. But we'll stay on board with our P2, and it's going to be Mertz with DRS. I feel like there's going to be an easy move. Yeah. Buster didn't really have any chance there, and Mertz retakes the lead. So AlphaTauri 1 and 3, but Luke,
he's got it.
We saw him.
Luke.
Yeah, we saw him run wide a couple of times. One at Cops, I think he ran wide at Chapel as well, so not really surprising that he's the first of our lead pack to pick up a 3-second time penalty. But you can just see how close this top 4 is. And as I said, Buster and Mertz swapping positions. Just going to be DRS, chicken, not necessarily chicken, a little bit. Oh, Buster did have a bit of a moment through there, and Websy's going to try and capitalise. Oh. He stuck the nose down there. It'll be interesting to see how his exit is off the corner. It's actually Luke that's got the better run, and he's going to go side by side. Can he get the complete move done? He does. Nice move from Luke. So it's an AlphaTauri 1-2, Buster in P3. I'm just wondering if those mediums may just be hitting that first little cliff, because he just struggled through turn 3, and you can just see how close Websy is. Websy knows he just wants to try and get this move capitalised, as we do have Domore, who's had a moment through Brooklands, unfortunately. So he'll correct back up. But we're going to watch this top 4, because it's going to get really, really close out of here. But Websy really on the back of Buster. Yeah, and that's just going to be...
I think you might be right. Those mediums might be falling off their first cliff.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can have a little look. To be fair, the hard tyres are probably hitting their first cliff as well. Oh, and that got real close.
Oh my god, sorry.
I think we're all watching the same person there.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, had the I know the viewers had a lovely nose cam of Websy nearly drill up the arse of the AlphaTauri, but thankfully Luke was turning in enough that Websy managed to avoid that. Otherwise, that AlphaTauri would have been looped around. But he's fallen off a little bit. But as I said, Luke's got good pace, and right on the back of his teammate. He backed out of it. I thought he was going to go for it, but he's going to hold off.
Wondering what he was going to do there as well.
Obviously, not sure. Obviously, we'll find out in a few weeks' times who each of these drivers' teammates will be. Oh, I shouldn't get too ahead of myself. They got to get picked in the draft, but I feel looking at this pace, Luke and Mertz definitely top contenders in their respective tiers. Mertz will probably be tier 2, but Luke probably tier 2 as well. So good showing that they're doing, but Mertz has gone really wide through the exit of Beckett's, and that's hurt his run onto the hanger straight, but he might actually be right,
Yeah,
unless...
no, I don't think Luke's going to get
but
it.
Webbsy's going to go for the move. I thought Luke was trying to do it, and
Webbsy
Webbsy...
tapped him.
That was
there contact?
Oh, it was the bare minimum. He's got to be careful about the rejoin. He nearly took out his teammate, but he's right now, but if there was contact, it was barely anything. So,
yeah,
as I said...
It may have been one of those glancing touches on the way through.
Yeah. As I said, it was sort of a late lunge from Webbsy.
Luke's got another 3.
Yeah, he's really struggling to keep it within the white lines, and this is pretty much just handing pretty much the race, at least the race win to Mertz. Buster's still hanging in there, obviously, but it's sort of a fight between two now. Obviously, Webbsy, there's also a little bit of time. How far is he off the lead? He's about 9 seconds, so definitely, he's definitely capable of clawing that back. He's got 16 laps to go, and as I said, all these guys have still got to make a pit stop.
The pit.
Yeah, so he's making a stop. Obviously, we saw him spin, so he's gone onto the medium tyres.
I'll be enjoying them hards.
Yeah, so he'll be able to get back to the end of the race from them, but on board with Luke again. He had to back out of it a little bit on the entry of Maggots. And just a little bit of the dirty air through Chapel. But again, DRS, and it's about that 4/10 gap off the exit. So as he thought about it, but you then got to watch Buster behind. He's in.
I was going to say, Buster's right in on this fight too. He hasn't actually dropped out.
Oh, side by side between Granny and Secret, yeah, and still side by side through Vale. And
Granny was blinking, so he's hovering.
A little bit of a curb hop from Secret, so that just hurt his run out of, through Club. So Granny is in P4. Remember, Secret has made a pit stop. And does he think about a lunge? No, he doesn't. So he'll stay P5. Buster obviously is in an awkward position. He's on the medium tyres now. Problem is he has to go to the hards, where the two in front of him will go the mediums. As Luke down the inside at Brooklands gets the job done. Does Mertz go for the switchback? No, he'll hold off, but he'll have a better line through Luffield. And then how's the eggs? Oh, bit of a snap.
Oh, bit of a snap.
Yeah, through Woodcote. Does Luke, bit of an issue. So Mertz right on the back. It won't be coming through Cops, but you'll be looking to get the exit out of Chapel to try and get him down the hanger straight and retake first position. But then again, he's not really having to fight this too much because Luke's got the 6-second penalty already.
Yeah.
But I must say, Broseph must be loving life, considering that he's got an AlphaTauri 1 and 2. So obviously very happy. He'd like to see that in the season regular. As the Battle Cat picks up a 3-second time penalty, obviously he picked up damage after the safety car, and unfortunately he's pretty much a pit stop behind. Webbsy gets the job back past Quiet Cake around the outside. And Quiet Cake, does he? No, Quiet Cake's going to come in.
Oh.
He nearly just missed.
Run that super wide. Watch the re-entry.
Oh, as we just missed.
Busters come back into second now.
Yeah, but Luke's going to refight him back to try and take P2, but all this is doing is allowing Mertz to get away. Luke down the inside at turn 4. As we come onto the Wellington straight, who gets DRS? It's Luke. But Buster did get DRS as well. As Buster weaves a little bit, he'll have to hold off. So, be interesting to see when Buster comes in, if he tries an undercut. But considering that he's going onto the hard tyres, just not sure how much that he will gain in terms of time. But I think he sort of has to try something else, because unfortunately he's going on the worst tyre compared to the other guys, unless he's going to try and do a medium soft. But it's a long way to go.
Cake's just in the pit and changed to hard compound after medium.
Oh, sorry, I just thought I had someone at my door.
Oops.
No, it's alright. The fun is two Alpha Terrain is still running each other, and then it's 0.5 seconds again behind, and then Buster also 0.5 seconds behind, and then both of the driver from 128 is not in the pit yet, and except Business is going to change the compound for light laps until the first safety car come out.
Yeah, and Buster obviously making the call to do the set undercut, so we knew it was getting to that point, so he's going to come in, same as Granny, he's going to come in as well. Obviously, the interesting call is for both the AlphaTauris, they're both on the hard compounded tyre, and obviously they share a garage, so one's going to have to stay out an extra lap if they do decide to cover Buster, and at the moment you feel like Mertz will get priority because he's the car in front, as Mumba picks up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately, down in P9. So it might be...
I think with Fallows 6 seconds worth of penalties, Mertz has to take priority.
Yeah,
really.
You say that, but if they're not working together and Luke tries to pass him down the hanger straight down at Stowe, that might completely ruin his undercut or his cover of Buster. But we'll have to just wait and see. I said we've seen Luke just sort of back out as Don Moore has retired in the pit lane, unfortunately. Having a look, Luke's quick through here, and you can just see Mertz going wide. He'll have DRS. And I think you can just see, Mertz is burning. He wants that track position. He manages to hold it off. So, do we see the first AlphaTauri come in? No, they both stay out. So, where's Buster
It's still good
this?
for 12 lap, yes. I think for the hard.
Yeah, this is Buster needs to push now, as you got Secret coming in as well. Remember, he made his stop. I think he went soft then medium, so he can put on another set of medium tyres, and he's probably your net P5 or P6, I believe, so he's doing quite well. So second set of medium tyres go onto the Red Bull. As
Websy's the one I'm interested to see. He'll be one. I think he'll be wanting to get quite a big undercut on Mertz and Fallow. Also, Websy's back up to third.
Yeah, obviously he hasn't made his pit stop yet, so he will fall behind Buster and Secret. As Secret coming out, he was in that battle with Granny. No, sorry, he was just behind Granny, I believe. So he's coming out just ahead. He's just got to get those bit of tyre temp in those mediums. So Granny, this is probably going to be his one and only chance to get a move on the Red Bull. He'll have DRS. The Red Bull weaving to get tyre temp, but he's got to stop weaving, and the Williams go down the inside at Brooklands, but the Red Bull's going to fight back down the inside at Luffield, and that's just the superior grip of the medium tyres.
I think that's just tyre compound difference right there.
Yep, and as I said, it only took, one sector, if that, to get a bit of tyre temp up, and yeah, that was all the difference, so we'll see.
Look in the pit.
Oh, so Mertz decided to stay out. So Luke's going to get the undercut, you'd think, but again, the 6 seconds really hurts him. How is Secret's exit through Chapel? Not the best, so Granny potentially trying to get the move done, and a lot of straight line speed for the Williams. This is his chance, this is the last thing Secret wants. Secret's going to fight him through Stowe, takes a narrow line, and Granny gets the job done. And I think he needed to do that. Sort of needs Secret behind him and just sort of start overheating those mediums for him to have a chance to stay ahead.
I don't think this is going to be, it's going to stay like this for too long though. Secret looks quick on those mediums.
Yeah, you could just see how much more grip that he's got, especially coming through turns 1 and 2. Oh, but that's not how you get the move done. It looked like a simple move down the inside, but I think he was half-hearted about whether he wanted to go for it, and he just slams into the back of the Williams. I don't think he's got any front wing damage, but this should be the cleaner move. As we go side by side, and yeah, the Red Bull gets the job done. So Strickland up into piece number 7, and he's about 3 seconds off Luke. And with Luke having 6 seconds, Secret might be able to gain another position here. As we've got the top 4 still yet to stop. No, sorry, the McLaren and Dan, they don't have to stop because they box lap 1. Mertz is in. So it's going to be interesting about the two.
He is too.
Yeah, so obviously, he just manages to get that pulled up, Websy. So I'm assuming these guys go mediums. Websy might risk something and go soft. Might bit of a change. He needs to sort of claw back the ground that he lost with the spin. Mertz is in for the medium tyres. Websy, what are you in for? They're soft. They're the red wall tyres, so I thought he might chance it. So he's got to be super quick, but he's going to have to use those tyres quickly because those will really start to deteriorate in those last 4 laps. So Buster takes, I say, the net lead, but again, the top 2 can technically make it home from here.
I was going to say, I don't know if Dan or Frizy are going to pit.
They probably won't.
Keep going.
Problem is, I don't feel like a 6-second gap for Dan is going to be enough to hold off a lot of guys. Maybe Buster. Oh, but we got the 2 AlphaTauris. Mertz and Luke with just the obviously the extra lap, the warmer tyres, gets the job done. So he takes P4 from his teammate. But again, the penalties are hurting one side of the AlphaTauri garage. So Mertz drops down into P5. Secret, great job from him. P6. Granny in P7. Quiet Cack in P8. Websy down in P9, but he's obviously on those soft compounder tyres. He's 14 seconds off the lead, and I'd say about 9 seconds off a Buster. So that's his target that he's aiming for at the moment. But it's going to be the 2 AlphaTauri battles once again, and just tons of speed from Mertz, and that's an easy move done down the hanger straight before they even got to the breaking point of Stowe. As Luke picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Now.
This field's actually still quite close, so he's looking to finish probably behind the Haas, so he might be finishing 10th here.
Be a bit of a race killer. Well, that one could have been a bit of a race killer for him.
Wow. As Mertz picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that hurts his race with Buster, and he's closing in on Buster really quick. So now he's not only going to have to pass the Alpine, he's got to now gap him by 3 seconds. And that makes it...
Buster's sort of closing in on Frizy as well.
Yeah, but Frizy's actually closed a lot of time on Dan the Racer. Dan's really struggling on those 15-lap-old hards. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time as Quiet Cake gets past Granny. And he's just managing to hold him off. But you got Websy on those soft tyres. And this
Buster's
should be...
now in DRS.
Which is all important considering that Mertz is now within Buster's DRS as well. So I'm just going to have a quick look at Quiet Granny Websy. So these three are getting close. I'll quickly switch it back up to... Oh, it's going to be Mertz on Buster. As Buster, did he try and go his greatest defense, his attack? And give me a good camera angle, please, as the McLaren does go into the pits, and you've got both AlphaTauris taking advantage, and Buster's gone from 2nd to 4th.
That was slick by the 2 AlphaTauri boys.
Yeah, and those mediums are really going to rock now. Mertz, his target is Dan the Racer up. He's got 3.8 seconds. Websy did get past Quiet and did get past his teammate. His teammate shouldn't have boxed. I think there was a little bit of damage, unfortunately. Yeah, Granny did pick up damage, so there was a bit of contact with that battle that we just left, unfortunately. So Granny is in, Websy in P6. Look like he's gotten away with it, but the 2 AlphaTauris again getting really close. So Buster just needs to hang on. If he can hang on to DRS for a couple more laps, those mediums, or the freshness of the mediums should go, but you can just see he's struggling and he hasn't really got the ERS to be able to manage it. Dan, 2.5 second lead at the moment. He boxed on lap number 2. Sorry, at the end of lap 1 under the safety car. So he's losing about 1.5 seconds a lap at the moment. So I feel like Dan, he's gonna struggle to finish on the podium here, even with Luke's 9 seconds.
Yeah.
I
think he can finish, but I think he's going to be in struggle town. I don't know if it's worth it. But I mean, look, if he's going to roll the dice, good on him.
Oh, little bit of a wobble for Luke just before he enters club corner, but he does set his personal best of the race as Websy sets the fastest lap of the race. As I said, he's so soft tyres, he's really closed the gap. He was 14 seconds off the lead. As I clicked the right one, he's now 6 seconds off the lead. He's made up 8 seconds. Oh, clearly that's obviously from Dan, but he's still made a lot of time as Mertz is going to get the move done. Dan goes defensive, but I don't think there's anything he's going to be able to do, and he has to just sit behind. So Mertz retakes P number 1. Oh, it's Buster. Sorry, Dan trying to defend from the other AlphaTauri of Luke, but again, I think those hards are gone, and
I think Luke may have gotten a warning there as well.
Yeah, he looked wide, so Luke unfortunately picking up yet another warning. But he does manage to hold off Dan. Dan completely goes off track, and he probably went wide enough that he won't get a warning for that.
If he backed off, then yeah, it still does throw him out running him wide.
Yes.
I know that from personal experience.
Yep, so obviously we've got AlphaTauri 1 and 2. Penalties shaping as is. Mertz has got a 3-second penalty. Luke has got 9 seconds worth of penalties. And then you can see the guys further down, they are clean. Websy, he's just nearly within DRS of Secret, but Secret's nearly within DRS of Buster. Yeah, he tried something, but yeah, compared to the guys around him, he just did not have any pace, and probably wouldn't have held. I'd even say probably to quiet. He would have struggled to keep that position. So he's going to come in between the McLaren and the Ferrari, so he should be right.
Yeah, and he's on the reds, so he'll be sweet.
Yeah, Buster really struggling on those hards because Secret and Websy could still win this race. Websy just needs to get past the 2 in front of him and then just somehow catch within 3 seconds of Mertz. So I wouldn't rule out Websy yet.
You say somehow, but I mean, we've both seen how much pace he's got already tonight. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me. That gap is big though.
Yeah, but those soft tyres should die in those last couple of laps. So it'd be interesting to see what his pace is like. Luke's hanging on to Mertz here. Shame it's sort of not really a battle for the lead with the 6 seconds penalty difference. But it's a fascinating fight for P3, and Buster's outside of the 3 seconds, so Mertz is technically your effective race leader after penalties. Secret, he's going to be under attack from Websy. Websy goes completely to the right-hand side. He gets one car. He'll be narrow to the corner, so Secret's going to try and fight him around the outside. And
Secret and Buster both blinking.
Oh, Secret thought about the move down the inside. Oh, big snap.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, big moment, but he manages to catch it, and he's still within DRS, so it's now Websy in P4. He needs to clear Buster pretty much down the Wellington straight to then try and chase after Luke and Mertz as Eurobot picks up another 3-second time penalty. He is up to 6. And his exit out of turn number 4 was pretty good, coming onto the Wellington straight, and I feel like this is just going to be a simple move. And Websy on the soft compounded tyres, he's up into P3. Gap at the front is 4.5 seconds that he needs to chase down. So he's effectively net P2 already, because Luke's back out into probably P5 that he drops down to. So your current podium is Mertz, Mertz, Websy, Buster. Oh, as Granny's retired, that's in pit lane, so we will remain green. And Websy obviously getting the job done on Buster. So Websy 3.8 behind Luke. And as I said, Buster might not even finish on the podium here, because Secret's really hustling. That strategy that he did, box on the first lap and do a medium, it's working out quite nicely for him. Buster really struggling. Those hards are quite terrible around here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the hards at this place. It's it's not the best.
Well, as we know, when they had the rainbow tyre compounds a few years ago, you had the blue hard tyres that they never used. So clearly, they obviously, you sort of have to know, and obviously with the corners, sweeping corners, the high speed, the traction, and the load that you put on the tyres, so they've got to go hard. But Yeah, sadly the softs sort of really die out, but the hards are just absolutely terrible around here.
Yeah, and then the pit lane's too long to do the double. I just think it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you sort of need a safety car to sort of change it. Like I said, safety car lap 1, people tried, but yeah, not quite, unfortunately.
They just needed that second one. Websy's pulling in the time still.
Yeah, he needs needs about 8 more tenths. So if he can find a couple of tenths a lap, he will do it. But again, those soft tyres will really start to fade on his. And I'm having a look, and they are showing red, or a light red at the moment. So they're above 40% at the moment. As Secret finally gets past Busters, that's technically for the podium. So nice driving from Secret. So if Buster has anything left, he's got to try and fight him back. Because they're about 5 seconds behind Luke. So these two can't afford a penalty. And they really can't afford to start scrapping with each other as well. Because Luke might actually somehow find himself on the podium. But Luke wants to try and win this on track at least. Because he's right behind his teammate. 3.5 tenths.
He's got to take the little wins out of it, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think it's a bit too far back.
Yeah. As I said,
really gearing up for that move on the exit of the corner going onto that straight. You've got to be right up before anything can happen.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. If these two battle, this pretty much opens the door for Websy as well. Because the gap, as you can see, that's 0.3 of a second he now needs. He found half a second in that first sector and a half.
Yeah. And it looks like this scrap may continue going on to the next straight as well.
Yeah, on board with Luke. His exit through the back end of the chicanes weren't real great, but he'll get a bit of DRS. But he can't.
2.9 now. He's got it back out.
Yeah, obviously DRS would have helped him there, and a bit of battery from Mertz trying to defend, but Mertz has not really got a lot of batteries. You could just see for a split second that flashing red light. But Websy, 3 tenths he needs as we got 3 laps left to go in the first pre-season race here at Inters, gearing up for season number 6. And it's got to be a cracker, and as I said, Mertz and Luke really showing some good speed, but Mertz hit the inside curb at turn 4, and this could be the chance that Luke has to potentially make the move down the inside. He does said move, but he doesn't. He backs out of it. So I think that was a little bit of a lift again. Problem is, all this is done. Websy is with it.
Websy's in now.
Yeah,
Websy's got it.
But that wasn't really Luke's fault, because Mertz really hitting that inside curb. He just unsettled the car, and just that cost him the time as Luke.
Oh no, that's 12 now.
As I said, that's one thing the TPs will look out for. Oh, as you go really, really close.
I will say, I've had Luke elsewhere in a team of mine, and I will say, although the penalties on track tonight are big, this isn't an every race sort of thing. He is fast and keen. He loves to race, this bloke. Whoa!
He says that.
As I'm talking him up.
Yeah, just jinx him a little. But as I said, he hasn't really made a mistake on track. It's just that he's just ran wide at the just a few times too many. And as I said, he'll still find himself a top 5.
I think he will find himself. He should still find himself a seat pretty easily.
Yeah, battle for technically P3. Buster is close. Is he potentially waiting for a last lap move on the Red Bull? You can see the Red Bull in front flashing. As we go back to the teammates, Luke again thought about a move down the end of the Wellington Straight, but again just decides to back out of it.
Websy is well and truly in on this now.
Yeah, and having a look at Websy's tyres, they are just about to hit 60%, so they'll make it, but he's definitely got the tyre life. But again, it's also he'd be fine anyway. But it's also, I think those mediums are just maybe potentially falling off as well
Yeah.
on Mertz. But then again, 9 laps, so that'll still be alright. Alright, Luke. Wasn't too bad of a run onto the straight. I feel like he's going to back out of it again. He does, he gears down. And that's going to be positions held. But again, we are coming around, just about to come around Club Corner. Following Mertz through, we have 1 lap left to go. Mertz holds a 1.3 second lead. Oh, Luke.
I was going to say, Luke must have had a problem there because Websy has really closed the gap on him.
Oh, and he's dive bombed, and a little bit of movement from Luke. I'm just wondering if these two are in a party that Luke maybe just trying to force a 3-second gap again. Oh, but he's really wide there. As we come through turn number 5 on the final lap, we're side by side. Gap's gone out to 2 seconds. And it is Websy taking P2. Gap's 2 seconds, so he should still be fine unless he makes a mistake. But then again, Luke might really try and help his teammate. Further back, Secret and Buster for the final podium spot. Buster about 4/10, so there's going to be quite a lot of battles, and I've got a couple of flashing lights for fuel, but they should be fine. As you can just see, Luke really forcing the issue, going side by side, and forcing the issue, still side by side through Beckett. Oh, and there's contact.
Oh, he's just put him into the wall.
Oh, that's a shame. It sort of was.
I see what he was trying to do, but I think that was just a bit silly there.
Yeah, obviously don't take away anything from that, but yeah, I think if that was a proper championship race, you probably wouldn't do this or do that.
Nah.
Yeah, just a little bit naughty, but not to take anything away. Merck, your P1, your first winner of the pre-season. Great drive from him. Buster finishes in P2. He actually got Secret in the end.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I was watching the whole Luke Fellow Websy thing.
We were sort of talking about that, but Buster did get Secret, but in the end it didn't matter because both drivers finished on the podium. Websy did finish P4. Probably should have had the victory there, but yeah, I won't be surprised if there's a couple of choice words in the Discord. But as I said, I could see what he's doing. Paulie, I can sort of understand why you wouldn't fight normally if you had got a 12-second pen. I'm assuming he was helping Mertz perhaps to try and get the 3 seconds, but yeah, I think it's just
went the wrong way about it. I think I
think the first it sort of changed camera angles on me probably at the wrong moment, but when they went into Maggots, I think he got the move cleanly done, but obviously because he went deep, it allowed Websy to get the move back through Beckett's, but obviously there was contact, and I'm imagining that it was just Luke probably running a little bit deep to maybe try and defend, and there's obviously been, again, it probably wasn't the heaviest of contact either, but again, you with that much load on the car through that sort of corner, it's always pretty much going to send your car flying off. So
yeah, there was just no hope, and yeah, I was sitting on board for that. So I am with you. The Maggots was there. I think once Websy had the spot, he sort of had to pull it back instead of trying to, because and then going back onto the straight to try in the last few turns to at least take the spot. And,
So, it's unfortunate it sort of ended the race like that, but as I said, Mertz, he drove well regardless. He might have lost on penalties, but yeah, take nothing away. That's a great victory from him. Buster as well. He sort of fell off. He just probably was just on the wrong strategy, unfortunately, with the hard tyres at the end. But great drive from him. Secret as well. He went the double mediums after the first lap, and yeah, fantastic drive. He had a lot of pace, so well done to him.
Worked out real well for him.
Yeah, Websy obviously unlucky to finish P4. Luke obviously before those penalties finished P5. Quite cake. A quiet second half of the race for him in P6. Mumba, great job from the back of the field to P7. Dan the race in P8. Frizy in P9. Jerabot in P10. Battlecat in P11. Granny, Donwalk, Callie, and Jeneth were your 4 retirements. So, yeah, unlucky there. Paulie, I can sort of understand what what you're saying, I think in a normal season, that would probably get penalised fairly harshly. I know Marty obviously taking control of the stewards this season for Inters, so as I said, we know he's sort of going to take a no-nonsense policy with sort of racing incidents. So obviously, a lot of faith in how he'll run the stewards this season. So I reckon that sort of racing will get stomped out fairly quick. But again, league racing rules do apply in these pre-season socials, so just got to be a little bit careful. Otherwise, you may be able to get penalised.
I mean, I was going to say the report can still go through.
Yes.
Inter's racing, like you said, Inter's racing rules do apply.
Yes.
So, on that note, Scotty, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I've got to go pick up the misso, so I'll chat to you later, mate.
Yeah, no, thanks for helping in. So
all good.
Yeah. So obviously, thanks to Gobby for hopping in. I'm just wondering, we might have a chat to a few of these boys. We'll definitely get Mertz in here. Gotta have a chat to him. Did comms with him a couple of times. He had a fantastic pace today, so we might actually we'll get him in for a bit of a chat. As I try and find his name, if the names want to load for me. Where are you, Mertz? We'll get him in. We'll get Buster in as well. And Secret, they were your top three. So, boys, if you're listening, just hop in the party. We'll have a bit of a chat. So, obviously, while we're waiting for them, we've got Mertz in, but I'll just quickly announce, obviously, tomorrow night, we've got our second night of the pre-season, and we have 2 races for you. We've got Barcelona and we've got Portimao. So, two similar sort of tracks. We know some people say Portugal's the better Spain, but yeah, it's going to be fantastic racing. 35% races for each of them. And having a quick look at the pre-season check-ins, I think we've got nearly a full grid wanting to race tomorrow night, so it should be a fun one. So join us tomorrow night, 6:30 for that. But we do have a few of the boys in. We'll start with our third place getter, Secret. Great drive from you. Obviously, boxing lap 1, obviously under the safety car, but made the double mediums work, and you're really fighting Buster there in that last little bit of the race and managing to find yourself on the podium. So great drive for the first pre-season race.
Sorry, just thank you though. It's the first race, in a few months for me, so I was just trying to go out there, like get the cobwebs off, just get a little bit of racing on my belt. Hopefully, that's just the beginning of it. I hope I can make a full-time comeback to Inters. It's been like, it was like season 2 since the last time I fully raced, but it was a good race today overall.
Yeah, you look good on track, and obviously you went with the different strategy. Obviously after that lap 1 safety car, did you always think do the double mediums? You didn't like the hards. Thought that might have been the better strat at that point.
My thought process was I was pretty confident because I knew there was only 10 people left. I had a feeling there wasn't going to be a second safety car. I decided, you know what, I don't want to go 24 laps on hards and get hawked down at the end of a race. So I was thinking, you know what, let's go aggressive. I'm confident with my pace. Let's 2-stop with double mediums, and it worked out. So.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch a little battle with Buster at the end as well. Obviously, cobwebs off for your first race. Will we see you maybe participate in a couple more pre-season races just to get a bit more action in?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, but no, it was fantastic seeing you back on track. And yeah, brilliant job from you, P3 tonight. Well done.
All right, thank you.
All right, Buster, P2. Great,
mate.
Yeah, great pace, P2. But we sort of said, me and Gobby, I think it was more so the strategy that just killed you. You're sort of in that top 4, the only one that was sort of on the default strategy, and you just looked at those hards at the end, just didn't seem like the best tyre.
Yeah, Scotty. No, it was a good race. Good first pre-season race. Some good battles out there. Yeah, the tyre strategies. Jeff actually said go hard medium, and I'm like, early safety car. what's the plan, an early safety car happens. I was just thinking of the safest way, you know what I mean? Early safety car, chuck on the hards, but there wasn't a safety car. Later on, there was that early safety car. Poor Jenneth only got around that one corner. Unlucky to Jenneth.
Yeah, he obviously looked.
No, it was a good race, but them tyres were just gone at the end there.
Yeah, we sort of saw Dan. Oh, obviously you made the move on. I think you got to Dan and what the McLaren, and obviously they had sort of boxed under that first safety car for hards, and you could just sort of tell once you get 15, 16 laps on those set of hards, they were sort of useless nearly. So obviously didn't quite do it, but great battle with you and Secret obviously at the end, and obviously without the Websy Luke incident that happened on that last lap, I think you would have just pinched P3 off Secret. So obviously, yeah, it was a great battle to watch you two as well.
Yeah, no, great battle the whole race pretty much. The two AlphaTauri boys just I don't know what happened there. I've just made a few little errors, and then I was out of DRS, and then that was it. So I just had to try and keep it clean. And the last 3 laps, I just saved battery and went for that move on that last straight. But great racing to everyone. Good battle, Secret. Very fun.
Yeah, it was definitely great to watch. Obviously, you'll jump in for more socials. Obviously, your battle with Mertz early on as well. That was quite enjoyable to watch too.
Yeah, mate. He's got very quick. So is Luke. Unless I'm just getting slower or they're getting quicker. But either way, no, it was a great race. Good first pre-season.
Yeah, he's going to be fantastic next few races coming up to the draft. But yeah, thanks for jumping in tonight, and yeah, well done, great pace, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in another pre-season race shortly.
Thanks, lads. Have a good one.
All right, and our race winner, Mertz, fantastic drive. Obviously, collision at the end, sort of maybe I wouldn't say soured it. But obviously Websy was in the 3 seconds, but take nothing away from you. Yeah, great pace all race long, and obviously just a shame you picked up the late 3-second penalty, but great pace from you tonight.
Yeah, man, cheers, Scotty. Yeah, it was getting pretty intense in the last 7 laps. Because look, I had the penalty that I was pissing myself over because the way I got that penalty, it wasn't even that good, and I just went off track for like maybe 5 temps, and it got me, and I was under the pressure for the last couple of laps. But yeah, my teammate went back to the fan, and I think something just happened between them. But side by side last lap, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, how are you feeling for the upcoming season? Obviously, we saw you obviously do Tier 3 and then obviously jump up to Tier 2, and you had some really good results coming into the new season. How are you feeling? I'd imagine you'd be Tier 2, so you're feeling full-time Tier 2 race, and hopefully your full-time Tier 2.
Yeah, look, I'm only starting to get adjusted to my steering wheel now, and I'm only starting to get the basics and turning off the assists. So hopefully this season ahead brings on quite a lot for me, and hopefully I can land myself in a good team.
Yeah, and as I said, I reckon you've piqued a few of the boys' interests, the TPs that would have been watching. I know Broseph was very happy that he saw an AlphaTauri 1 and 2 at a few points in that race. But yeah, it was a fantastic race from you tonight. How you sort of feeling in terms of potentially another couple of pre-season races under your belt before we go full-time racing?
Yeah, I'm definitely pumped for tomorrow night. Home race Grand Prix at Portimao, so it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. That's one of my favourite tracks, and I've practiced a lot on there, throwing the off brake, so hopefully I'll have a lot to come tomorrow night.
Yeah, well that just ruins my race tomorrow, knowing that you're on the grid continuing your pace, but yeah, it's going to be a fun race tomorrow night, and yeah, I can't wait to race around Portimao and obviously Spain as well, so, but yeah, big congratulations for you tonight and great effort.
Yeah, cheers, man. I'd also like to congratulate Secret. I haven't seen him racing in a while, so it's good to see him back on the grid. And also shout out for Christian for watching the stream tonight. Lots of fun.
Yeah, no, you definitely had support in the stream, and yeah, obviously, good to see Secret back. Good to see all three on the podium: Mertz, Bust Up, and Secret. But obviously, got to shout out Websy as well. Had great pace. Obviously, he's a contender in Tier 1, and Luke obviously. The collision in the last lap can't take away. He had definitely plenty of pace, and obviously unfortunate about the penalties, but he'll bounce stronger, no doubt. So looking forward to see how he goes in future races. But that will end us on your Wednesday night for our first pre-season race of Season 6. And as we said, tomorrow night, 6:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. We got Spain and Portugal, 35% races each. So it's going to be an absolute blast to watch. I'll be in the race car tomorrow night, so it'll be very interesting to see how I get on, how all the boys get on. We'll definitely have a stream up and running for you guys. So just final shout out to Player One, our main sponsor for Season 6 here at Inters. So again, big shout out to them for hopping on board this season. So based in Melbourne, your racing sim gear company. So we'll have more details about them throughout the next couple of days and weeks. But yeah, big thank you for everyone watching at home, and we'll catch you tomorrow night for the double sprint at Portugal and Spain. So until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.